guys, welcome back to my channel Raising Health. Okay, so if this is the first time you are checking out my channel, this is a teaching channel. I'm here to teach you how to eat right for life, and I'm all about food you can trust. And I am an absolute foodie. I love food. I'm not a chef, don't get me wrong, guys. I don't proclaim to be someone who can, whip up these delicious recipes and have them all looking fantastic. I'm about selecting food that is wholesome and good for you and reaching your goals the natural way, the way we should have been doing it in the first place. So that's what I'm all about, guys. Honest nutrition, okay? But I was thinking, oh my goodness, that's my husband. Da, 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 da. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, you know what's going on in my life? We are moving house. I told you in last week's video as well. It is crazy around me, and as we get closer and closer to the day, my goodness, things are getting a little bit testy around here because I'm having to, you know what it's like. You go, oh, I'll never use this. In the next 2 weeks, and the next thing you are rummaging through boxes, etc., etc. So we're at that stage and just doing the little snag list. That's what the messages were about. Okay, so enough about that. So guys, I wanted to do something a little bit differently in this video, because I really feel that a huge part of, our health and mindset and everything that goes with it really comes down to our mindset. You can have the best of intentions in the world, but if your head isn't in the right place, it doesn't always work out. So I thought, let me just, I've also been just going back to this whole moving business, I mean, most of you, if you have been following me, I moved to America just like a year and a half ago. I've got married, we've sold this house, we're moving home. So there's been a lot going on, and I can tell you, like, it is the most mind-blowing experience I've had in many, many years, and trust me, I've had a few. This has been really, really intense because, I've just felt the weight of the responsibility of packing up someone else's life. I know Jim is my husband, but, he's lived in this house for almost 20 years. And, before me, there was another whole life. So, you've got to, pack things up and, be respectful. And with that, I had so many memories flooding back to me, and just, just thinking about, my old life back in South Africa and my childhood, and just all the things that got me to where I am here today. And this has actually been literally therapy for me, because I've just realized how brave I had actually become over the years. The one thing that life taught me a couple of years ago, and that was, you can have fear of change, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I can tell you, I'll never forget the time when I knew I had to consolidate my life and put my furniture into storage, and oh my goodness, it was, honestly, I remember calling a meeting with my sons, and I remember being on the couch and literally like in fear, in like absolute shock and fear of the fact that I was going into a period that was just such radical change that I was literally paralyzed, and this is not something that's uncommon. And you know what, I've noticed it with my clients. The idea of changing their eating habits creates so much anxiety, and they genuinely feel the fear of change. It's a big deal, reinventing your entire pantry. So that really is something that we need to, address and really take the time, if you're a journaler, whatever works for you in figuring it out. Maybe just facing your fears and doing it anyway is a solution, but it's real. I know it's awful, it sucks. And so the second point I want to bring up, and it really does kind of tie into the first point as well, and that is the fear of failing after you have succeeded. And trust me, this is a massive one because, you know, you get into, you know, you've got these goals. Let's just say it's weight loss, okay? So you've got these goals, you want to lose 20 pounds, and off you go and you stick to your plan and you achieve your goals. Let me tell you, I've had clients who have got to their goals and have still continued to be with me for a period of time because they needed to prove to themselves that they could maintain. Okay, you can still have success once you have reached your goals. You do not have to fear the failure. I also believe that a lot of people give up even trying because they actually feel the fear of succeed. Well, they don't fear succeeding. They prepare to succeed, but that fear of maintaining and failing is just too big for them. Okay, so guys, this is really and truly quite a big one for everyone. So I'm not quite sure, you know, how people manage this particular journey alone, and I really highly recommend, even if you just get yourself an accountability buddy, you know, just someone, your best friend, your partner, your husband, your wife, whoever you trust, your coach. But you know, if you can just at least for a period of 12 weeks, just to give yourself just some time to trust yourself, you know. And that's what I always like to do. I like to set my clients up so that they eventually can take that step out into the world and absolutely live their best life. Okay, another one which is pretty interesting, and that's the imposter syndrome. Now, the imposter syndrome, oh my goodness, I have felt that literally my entire life. You know, we get to this particular point in life, we've reached our goals and we've succeeded, and then all of a sudden we go, whoa, like this is like, you know, this is just too big for me. And you start talking yourself down. Seriously, I know what this is like. I've been there as well, you know. And again, I really seriously recommend, you know, when you're dealing with these types of issues, you know, I'm not a psychologist or a doctor, you know, I can just give you little like tips and hacks and little things you can do back at home in the privacy of your own home. And, you know, really, I do believe that journaling is an incredible tool, guys. So, you know what, if you feel that perhaps this imposter syndrome is something that you know, are experiencing, and it kind of inhibits you from, you know, reaching those goals, write it down, journal, think about this, you know, talk to a trusted friend, your coach, if you are in therapy, you know, but speak to someone about this, address it, acknowledge it, you know, absolutely acknowledge it, and find out a little bit more about it. It's a big deal, this, hey, you know. I often feel like that. It's, you know, something takes place and oh my goodness, or I get invited to do something and I'm like, no, not me, no, I'm not that person. And you know, I actually am that person but it's my own insecurities creeping in, and then I've got to talk myself down. Okay, so another one is the fear of judgment and criticism. And you know, I really think this is super important because a lot of people, you know, we're people pleasers. We want people to be, you know, happy with us, you know, joyful with us. And, you know, for example, you embark on a new eating plan and there's certain things you don't want to do, you know. Perhaps you don't want to go out on a Wednesday evening with your best friend and have that glass of wine that you've been doing for the past couple of weeks or months. You know, that you just got into a habit. Perhaps you want to break that habit. You know, I'm sure, you know, your friend is probably not going to be too happy with you if you're going to break the plans, you know. You know, that's just, you know, one example. You know, another point I was going to just mention, which I'm kind of thinking ties in as well, is, you know, the fear of losing connections, you know. So all of a sudden, let's say, you know, as we mentioned earlier, weight loss is the prize here. This is where you want to be, you know. But perhaps, you know, some of your friends, maybe they aren't on the same journey as you. And once they see you, you know, looking a bit better, feeling a bit better, a lot more excited about life, you know, perhaps climbing into a few outfits that you hadn't been into, you know, got into for a while, you know, there is always going to be jealousy. Oh, my best one is, oh, you're getting too thin. you know, and then immediately at once, you know, you want to, you know, you start questioning yourself and that kind of thing. Okay, and then perhaps maybe the buddies that you were hanging out with, you know, who are now feeling not so great because you're looking so great and feeling so great, you know, perhaps, you know, you just feel that they're judging you, and perhaps you feel that you're losing this connection. So guys, you know, these things are really, 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 really serious, you know, and it's a huge part, you know, your connections and how you are perceived in the world is really important to all of us. So, you know, the most important thing with what I'm wanting you to take away from this video is acknowledging what you are experiencing, because if any of these things I'm mentioning resonate with you, these could be the things that are preventing you from reaching your goals. It doesn't only have to be weight loss. It could be anything, you know. It could be a marathon, like a mini marathon that you'd like to take, you know, to join. But in order to do that, you need to put some training in. You know, you're not going to be able to, you know, do some of the things that you used to do with certain people, you know. So again, you know, you're perhaps going to be letting people down, you know, so it's quite a big deal. So, you know, these are all the things that prevent us from reaching our goals. Okay, so another one that I kind of touched on earlier, but that is the fear of the unknown. So I'm going to just touch on the food side of things because that's what I do. But honestly, you know, I'll get your assessment, I'll look at all the types of food you're eating, and then immediately I can sum up what's kind of taking place. And I know, like, there's certain things we're going to have to eliminate. So when we eliminate sugar, there's a lot that has to leave the plate, you know, and that's just one example. And let me tell you, the fear and anxiety that comes from the fear of the unknown, it's incredible. Do you know, on day one, you know, normally I'll, you know, encourage my clients, you know, we're going to start with some form of intermittent fasting, just depending on where they're at the state and, you know, in their journey. Perhaps they've never fasted in their entire lives before, you know, and we always start in a way that is so super easy that you cannot fail. You know, like every single thing is step by step, hour by hour, you know, minute by minute. And I can assure you, you know, when you take that type of approach, you definitely take little baby steps. You know, perhaps you're concerned, I mean, perhaps even the sugar, you know, maybe it's just a process of elimination. But don't be afraid. You know what? If your body's going to be eliminating toxins and you're going to be getting a bit of a headache for 2 days, or you're going to be feeling a bit cranky or not so great, you know what's coming. It's not an abnormal thing. You've had a headache before, you know. One thing you can do is prepare yourself. You know, get yourself a, you know, this is crazy. Now there's a bird in the breezeway. I've never once had a bird in the breezeway. The doors are all closed. This bird is trying to get in here, distracting me, guys. Okay, so where were we? Fear of the unknown. It is, you know what, just take it slowly, take it simply, and just start eliminating. You know what, if you are asking questions about certain food, chances are you actually know what the answers are. So you can start eliminating, and you'll be very, very surprised to see that the unknown is actually quite exciting. I mean, just imagine if you were afraid of changing your eating plan and you decided, okay, I'm going to give myself 4 weeks, and every week I'm going to be improving on this or improving on that. Can you only just imagine what would happen 4 weeks later? Ta-da! Who knows, you know? Okay, so another one is self-doubt and low self-esteem. You know, so many people, they just sometimes think, oh, well, I'll just never be able to do it. I'll never be able to stick to it. You know what? It's not about not being able to do it, not being able to stick to it. It's about starting it, starting somewhere, you know. Everyone has to start somewhere. And, you know, it's not what you do every day that's, I mean, it's not what you do on the odd occasion that actually counts. It's what you do every day that counts. So the odd occasion where something does creep in, which is not exactly part of your new eating plan or regime, guys, that isn't failure, okay? You know, that's just readjusting things and just moving on and just, you know, dusting it off. It's part of a new brand spanking new journey, and part of this journey doesn't have to be squeaky clean. There are going to be little pitfalls here and there. So, you know, don't doubt yourself. Just do it. Like, just do it. And when you aren't sure about what to do and there is a bit of self-doubt creeping in, go for a walk. Seriously, I have got a silent walk. I promote silent walking. I'm telling you, the best things that have ever happened to me is when I've gone and done silent walking, or even like what I've been doing in the house now, just packing up. It's like me, myself, and I, and the boxes, and it's just, you know, non-stop working. And I can tell you right now, you know, when you start spending time on your own and you start really being truthful and honest about your, you know, who you are and what your goals are, you know, and you know, guys, you are amazing. Seriously, you are perfect, like absolutely perfect. You don't have to worry about what other people think. This is your journey, you know, this is your life. You're in charge. This is you make the decisions here, okay? And if you want to be better, I'm telling you, just be better. Find an accountability partner. Contact me, whoever it is, but really and truly, you know, lift yourself up, because you are loved and you are absolutely awesome, okay? So, you know, this is the one that really, really hits home, and that is past trauma, you know, or a negative experience. You know, I had a very negative experience when I was 12 years old around my weight. I've told this story before, but it was hectic. I must have been around 12 years old, and the teacher decided, it was in our maths class, and the teacher brought a scale to school, and she had got each person in the class. Now, this was a co-ed school, and I was a swimmer in those days, so I had like broad shoulders, very athletic, and I wasn't the tallest. Actually, maybe I was like a little bit taller than the rest of the girls, so, but you know, average. And I kid you not, this lady, this teacher, she made each kid go up and stand on the scale, and then she announced to the class what they weighed. And there had been a girl who weighed, you know, she was much taller than us girls. She was like literally a head taller, and you know, there was nothing about her that was abnormal. You know, she was just a bigger girl. She had just matured faster. And when she got on the scale, the whole class laughed and called her names. It was horrific. And I think I was like the second to last kid to go up. And off I go, jump on the scale, and blow me down. I weighed the same as that girl, and I was shorter than her. I'm telling you, that day, my life changed. I remember the weather. I remember the feeling. I remember walking out of that classroom feeling completely broken. And I was 12, okay? So that past trauma really, 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 it's, in some ways it broke me, but I can tell you in many, many ways, it built me up, because I had to work past that trauma. And I must be honest, I'm not healed or recovered from that trauma. You know, I still have body issues. I'm insecure. I'm really hard on myself. I'm really, really hard on myself. And it's tough. And, you know, I've really tried to work past the whole thing, but I've just resigned myself to the fact that this is me now and this is how it is. But I'm very conscious about talking to people about their weight. Especially, I love working with young girls, especially young girls, because they are just so awesome. Like, they're just going through so much at the moment, and they really, really do inspire me, because I also do consciously remember what it feels like to be a young lady and having body issues, and, you know, just really, you know, wanting to put my best step forward, but not knowing how to do it. So, you know, I just really love helping mold minds that are just starting out. So guys, this was quite an intense video. Let me just see if I've actually my goodness, I must say, like, I'm even feeling a bit emotional here. I must say, when it comes to talking about past traumas, it's really a hard one. It's tough. Guys, I put this video out because I know you are struggling. We are all struggling. We all have our issues. We all have our goals that we're trying to achieve. And we all feel, you know, we all need to be uplifted at some stage and time in our life. And I really hope this video has helped you just identify what is holding you back so that you can take that step forward and, you know, have a plan of action and, you know, just have a little pathway of where to start and, you know, how to do it and who to connect with. Just start thinking about it, because once you start facing these issues and start learning how to deal with them and address them, you know, you'll be on the right track to a really great life. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, if you have any friends or family who you think would benefit from this video, please do share, comment, like, do whatever, guys. Most importantly, please subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel. It's a free teaching channel, and I'm here to help you eat right for life and live your best life and feel absolutely great. And I really, really do care about you, and I really do love you all. And wow, this was intense. Thank you so much, guys. Ciao, ciao.